Hello there and welcome to today's video in which I'm going to go through 30 of my top autism and chronic illness accommodations, and they're all physical accommodations or tools if you like. So let's get started with number one, my little studio. And having my own space to do whatever I want in is so important to me. And before I met Ian, I had my own little studio flat, and I just loved this space so much because it was super organised, it was super neat, so I knew where everything was. And of course, when you're living with another person or living with other people, it's a completely different story, isn't it? So having this space is just essential to my mental health, and it's where I get creative and bring about autistic flow, and it's where I make my YouTube videos as well. So it's a really inviting space, and I love it so much. And number two is identical clothing. And like many autistic people, if I find an item of clothing that is super comfortable, you can bet I will go off and buy various versions of it, such as this top here, which I essentially always wear on YouTube. And I have gone into the reasons why in various other videos, but just made sense to go off and buy another 3 versions of it. And while I think of it, there is another accommodation here in the form of clothes hangers. And I cannot bear the thought of having all sorts of different clothes hangers in my wardrobe, all different shapes and sizes, and some of them are really clattery. For me, I just need them all to be kind of uniform and the same. And it just looks nicer, doesn't it? So yeah, you can see I use these white plastic hangers all the time. And number 4 is a baseball cap or a sun hat, if you like. And I've only very recently got into wearing these because I've always been convinced that I just do not suit them. And in fact, I don't suit them, but I'm at the stage now where I'm past caring because they're just really helpful in creating a bit of shade, aren't they? And I don't know, I've just suddenly got over my aversion to wearing them, so they've now become an essential tool. And number 5 is fairy lights. I love fairy lights because they're essentially sensory lighting, aren't they? And I have them all over the house, and very often I'll just turn all the lights off and just keep fairy lights on because I really like the kind of ambience that they create. I just really enjoy them, and any kind of sensory lighting as well. For instance, I've got this little character here that changes colour, and it really brings me comfort. At number 6 is fleecy or fluffy blankets, which are super cozy, and cushions as well, because for me it is all about comfort. And I'm probably one of the few autistic people that can't get along with weighted blankets. I find the sensation of that weight really claustrophobic and super distracting. So for me, it's all about kind of soft texture and just feeling really comforted. At number 7 is an air purifier, and we've got 2 of these, one for upstairs and one for downstairs. And as somebody who is super sensitive to smells and pollen, and who also has MCAS, these have been really helpful for me whenever there's quite a strong smell going on, or if Ian has to use, I don't know, like a cleaner for the drains or something like that, and the smell is hanging around. These have been really useful. Essentially, I'll leave it on its highest setting if there is a strong smell, maybe for a few hours or overnight, and it really does help to clear out that smell, really. And number 8 is weights or dumbbells. Basically, I use weights every morning because I find that with regular use, it really helps chronic pain, and particularly chronic pain across the shoulders. And it helps more than anything, I have to say. But it's sort of frustrating at the moment because I've had my gallbladder out quite recently, so I'm not able to certainly use this weight at the moment anyway. I'm having to use something lighter, which is frustrating, so I just can't wait to get back into it, if I'm honest. At number 9 is a body warmer. It seems bonkers to be talking about body warmers right now because the weather is just so hot at the moment, but I will be in a body warmer basically from around, I don't know, mid-September until May, because I am always freezing cold basically, and I found these body warmers to help more than anything. So I just find it really useful to try and keep my core or my torso as warm as possible. And of course, it really helps to keep heating costs down as well, because yeah, I just get cold so easily. And I really like this one in particular because it's got a hood, so it feels super cozy. And of course, they very often have pockets as well. And although they're not aesthetically pleasing at all, I just really enjoy wearing them. At number 10 is tight leggings. Basically, as somebody with POTS, I get a lot of blood pooling in my legs, and it makes your legs feel like they're really stiff and really heavy, and it's just such a horrible feeling. But to mitigate this blood pooling, it's a good idea to wear something tight that's going to constrict you, and I found tight leggings to be better than anything really. These are actually pretty rigid, they're an athletic leggings, so they really help to kind of pull everything in, so it really does help to reduce that kind of horrible blood pooling sensation. These kind of tight stockings tend to be recommended for people with POTS, but I've tried them a few times and I just can't get on with them, and it's really because they cover your feet, and I really don't like my feet feeling trapped, which they do in these. So yeah, I just can't get on with them. So leggings suit me far better because it allows my feet to feel free. At number 11 is sunglasses. And as somebody who struggles with light sensitivity, I am always wearing sunglasses, and these are my absolute favourite pair. I think Ian's mum got them from a magazine for free and gave them to me on the off chance I'd want them, but I've just loved them. And what's really heartbreaking is they've broken, and I've had to glue this arm to the glasses because yeah, they broke last year and I was gutted, and I can't find anything else like them, which is super sad. And another accommodation is this thing here. Don't know if you can see it, but essentially you can get these little silicone add-ons to your sunglasses, and they really help to keep your sunglasses in place. And if, like me, you sweat from your face, it means you're forever kind of pushing your glasses up, and I absolutely hate it. It's super annoying. But these mean your sunglasses always stay in place, and yeah, I'll link to these down below because I love these little things. And number 13 is an eye mask. I find it really difficult to sleep when there's or when the environment's too light, basically. So this eye mask has kind of a blackout feature on it inside, so it really does help to try and keep the lights out. Interestingly, Ian wears a different eye mask, but it's really deep. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like wearing a VR headset. So yeah, the one that I use is much more shallow, and I find it much more comfortable. At number 14, and also for sleeping, I use earplugs. I really like these kind of soft orange ones. And they do come with like a blue peg in the middle, so that I think that it's designed to stay in your ear longer or more easily, but I don't like that sensation of the, a solid plug on these. So I just use them without the plug, and yeah, I just find them really comfortable, and they block out enough noise for me to sleep. And particularly at the moment, because we're kind of in summer, it means opening the windows at night, doesn't it? So you get kind of more noise coming through, and as an autistic person, I'm super sensitive to noise. And number 15 is blackout curtains. I know that I already wear blackouts eye masks, but I really need my space to be as dark as possible when I'm sleeping, and although it's never 100% blacked out, blackout curtains really do help in trying to keep the light out as as much as possible, really. And it's super important, I think, during the summertime particularly. And also during really hot spells, it's really useful to draw your curtains during the day in order to keep that heat out as well. And the heavier the curtain, the better for this. And number 16 is my Kipling bag. Basically, Kipling bags are the only kind of handbags that I can use because everything else just gets on my nerves, to be honest. They always come with loads of different kind of compartments that really help me to keep things kind of organised, really. For instance, I can pop in my iPads into the front here, and they're crossbody as well, so they go over the shoulder because I can't stand any other kind of bag. I have to feel like my bag is close to me. And they all come with a ready-made stim toy in the form of a little monkey. And gosh, I have grabbed this monkey so many times, and before I knew I was autistic, if I was out shopping, etc., I'd often grab it and tell myself that things aren't as bad as they seem because there are toys in the world. And yeah, it just really helped me, to be honest. And yeah, I often find myself grabbing this toy whenever I'm out and feeling a bit anxious, really. So it's almost like Kipling knows that autistic people may buy their bags and need a little accessible stim toy. At number 17 is an iPod, and this is years old now, but I have to, and I mean have to, have this with me when I go on public transport. And it's not just because of, playing music. It's actually due to my awful proprioception. I really struggle on public transport, and I'm convinced it's going to crash and all sorts of stuff, really. So what I'll do is to often play records and try and deconstruct them in my brain, so I've got some kind of activity going on. So for instance, I often play David Bowie's Space Oddity, which I've spoken about before, but it's like an aural kind of collage. So I'll spend the time just really trying to deconstruct how the song was made, along with other songs as well. But I find it's essential to try and divert my brain away from my immediate surroundings. And number 18 is AirPods, and I'm probably one of the few autistic people that can't get on with headphones, but I use these pretty regularly because we have quite a noisy neighbour. So I find that I use these in the evenings watching TV, and it really helps me just to focus in on what I'm watching without being too concerned about extraneous noise. Although, I have got an autistic brain, so it is hard to switch off, but it just helps me to focus. Number 19 is a bath, or a bath, however you want to pronounce it, but give me a bath over a shower any day of the week, because I just really don't like the inconsistency of a shower. It never is the same temperature all over. You can never get your whole body under a shower, and I just really don't like it. I don't like getting into a shower, I don't like getting out of a shower, and I don't like the actual shower very much either. But it's the complete opposite for me with a bath. I absolutely love them. I have one every day, and they just bring me so much comfort and really help me to stay regulated. Number 20 is hair scrunchies. You'll always see me, or mainly see me, wearing my hair in ponytails or pigtails on YouTube, but basically I cannot bear having my hair kind of down, really, or close to my face, and whenever I do, it doesn't last for very long because my hair will go up into a scrunchie very soon because I just can't cope with that sensation of loads of hair on my face. So I've got loads of scrunchies around the house because, yeah, as I say, my hair will soon be up in one if it's not already. Number 21 is a vertical mouse. So basically, your hand is in a different position when you use it. And as somebody who struggles with chronic pain across my shoulders and through my arms, I find that using a standard mouse can really aggravate that kind of pain up my shoulder. So I find that using both of them kind of intermittently helps just to create a different position on my arm, really. So yeah, it does help to minimise that pain. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's just about creating different positions, really, isn't it, when you're dealing with chronic pain. At number 22 is vitamin patches. Many autistic people, including myself, really struggle with taking vitamin pills because they can set off, like, sensitive stomachs. And I know for me, I struggle with interstitial cystitis, and certainly vitamin C and vitamin B tablets can make it worse. So I moved on to patches, and these have been really, really useful for me. What I do essentially is to chop up the patches into smaller segments and as much as I can tolerate. So yeah, I've just found them really handy in terms of getting vitamins. At number 23 is a medicine or pill cutter. I've only found out about these recently, and gosh, they are just brilliant, really, because I've spent the last few years cutting up pills with knives on the kitchen counter. So invariably it means that you'll miss half a tablet because it'll fall on the floor. So yeah, these are great and super convenient. Number 24 is washing up gloves. And we don't have a dishwasher. I have the dishwasher. Well, Ian helps out as well, but I absolutely hate even the idea of putting my hands into dishwater because I really don't like it, and I find it super uncomfortable. So I always have to wear washing up gloves, and I'm allergic to latex, so I have to wear silicone gloves. So these are my favourites, and these are by Marigold, and I have tried various versions of silicone gloves, but these manage to stay soft for a good few months actually, whereas others I found tend to go hard on the fingertips, which is just horrible, really. So yeah, these are my favourites. And number 25 is silicone finger covers. As I've gotten older and entered perimenopause and all that jazz, I get calluses really easily on my fingers now, and it happens when I use when I'm writing with a pen for any extended period of time, and they're really sore when they crop up. So what I've discovered, that if I wear one of these silicone covers, they create like a cushion effect, really. So the pen leans on the cushion rather than my finger, and I have found them really quite useful. And also, whenever I do get calluses, working hands has been really great, and it's like an intensive moisturiser. I use this stuff all the time now because yeah, essentially it's the only hand moisturiser that works for me these days. Number 26 is a massage machine, and this has become an essential tech tool in this household because both myself and Ian use it quite a lot, really, and it's particularly useful for kind of shoulder pain for me. I tend to get some quite niggling pain going on just about there, so I kind of sit with this on my shoulder for 5 or 10 minutes, and it really does help. So yeah, I'm just super pleased that we got one of these. And number 27 is always having the same mug. Well, I've actually got two of these, and I'm sure that those of you who watch my live streams will recognise these mugs because I always have them with me, and they're always filled with rooibos tea or redbush tea, and I just really enjoy the size of them. I enjoy the weight of these mugs as well, and because drinking is essentially one of my autistic stims, I need to have something the size of a bucket basically, because I just can't stand having, teeny tiny cups or small mugs because they just seem like a waste of time to me. So yeah, I just always have my tea out of one of these mugs. At 28 is xylem melts. And as somebody who has intermittent dry mouth, these are so useful and they're used at night. So basically you just need to pop on one of these dots onto your gum. They stick really easily and it will encourage some salivary flow during the night so that you don't wake up with a horrible dry mouth and all of that sort of horrible taste that comes with it. I use the unflavoured variants, which is mint free, and it does have a really nice taste to it. It's very subtle because I find the mint ones far too strong, but yeah, I've used these quite a lot whenever I've had dry mouth. And number 29 is ice blocks. I tend to use these at night more than anything because we don't have aircon here. Generally speaking, people really don't have aircon in their houses in the UK. So when it's super hot, it's a problem, isn't it? So what I do is tend to wrap one of these in an old t-shirt and keep them by my feet while I'm sleeping, and it really does help to make you feel a bit cooler really. And I just think they're, gosh, so essential at the moment basically. And number 30 is a humidifier, and this has become an essential tool or an essential accommodation during the summer months for me because I'll always have it on at night, and essentially it just creates like a fine mist of water in the air, and when that's aimed over me, that really does help to keep me cool. And of course there's a real sensory element to this as well. I just really enjoy having this machine around, but I would say that it's important really only to use it during the summer months because many houses in the UK struggle with trying to keep moisture to a minimum during the winter because of course it can cause issues with damp. So for me this is only ever used during the height of summer. So there we have it. There are my 30 autism and chronic illness accommodations, and all in some kind of physical form. So I'd love to know which ones that you also use. And in case you're not aware, I have actually posted another video today on intangible autism and chronic illness accommodations, and it should be somewhere around there. So thank you for watching. Give it a like if you got this far. Comments would always be appreciated, and if you don't know what to say, leave an orange heart down below for friendship, and yeah, go and watch the other video.